Hey everybody, welcome back to Art by Galen. I'm Galen Eilenfeld, and today I've got some amazing tips for you on how to really knock it out of the park on your next Inktober, as well as some tips on what sort of materials you should use. A little bit of history if you're unfamiliar with Inktober. It was created in 2009 by an artist named Jake Parker, and Jake created this as a way to develop his inking ability, but also as a way to encourage him to develop good creative habits, primarily drawing every day. First and foremost, the intensity of Inktober really is going to depend on you. If you want to spend as little as 10 to 15 minutes per day doing an ink drawing, that's completely fine. And it's also fine if you want to spend, 3 to 4 hours, maybe even more on a drawing. It's really just going to depend on how much time do you have and how much do you actually want to put into it. At its core, the rules for Inktober are simple. Number one, make a drawing in ink. Pretty simple. You can do a pencil drawing underneath if you want to. Number two, post it. You don't really have to post it online. You can post it on your refrigerator or on a bulletin board at work or school or something like that. But the main idea is you want to have it done in a way that you can share it with other people and hopefully encourage them to share theirs with you. If you do post it online, whatever social media you choose, use the hashtag Inktober, and for this year, the hashtag Inktober 2019. And then every day during the month of October, repeat. Every year, Jake provides a prompt list for you to follow. So there's one for each day of October, and when that prompt is up, you do an ink drawing based on whatever your inspiration is for that prompt. You can take it as literally or as abstract as you want to. There's really no rules. The main goal of this challenge is to get you drawing more. My first tip is to predetermine your supplies. Figure out what sort of pens, markers, brushes, or dip pens you'll be using, as well as what paper or cardstock you want to draw on. If you're on the go a lot, you may want to consider taking a small sketchbook and some pens or markers that can be easily used and put away without any cleanup. If you'll be doing your drawing at home or at a studio and you have more space to spread out, you might want to try using ink and brushes or dip pens, or if you want that brush and ink experience but don't want to fuss with using brushes or having to clean up the dip pens and things afterwards, you can get brush pens that work beautifully as well. Another neat trick is you can fill up an aqua brush like this with drawing ink. My big recommendation with all of these tools is clean them up immediately after their use. Don't let them sit overnight. Don't even let them sit for a couple of hours because that ink is going to dry, they're going to get crusted over, and it's going to be very hard to clean. Let's see. You can also do the challenge digitally with ink style brushes. Overall, just use what you're comfortable with, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Secondly, make a plan on how to approach the prompts. Some people prefer not to spend any time thinking about it before they draw. Some people prefer to go over the prompt list many times and even write or sketch out ideas beforehand. Either way, if you have a plan in place, you're less likely to get frustrated and give up in the middle of the challenge. You can use the main prompt list, or you can even make up your own or come up with some with friends, but regardless, get it done before October 1st so you're ready to go on day one. This is probably what I would consider to be the most important tip, and that is get familiar with your materials before starting Inktober. That way you've got a good idea of how your materials are going to work, how they're going to function, how they're going to behave, what they can do and what they can't do before you're starting. This way on October 1st when you get started, there's no surprises and there's no frustrations. You're more prepared and you know what to expect. Another tip is draw in pencil first, because unless you're very proficient or experienced with ink drawing, you're probably going to be pretty intimidated by the idea of just diving right in with inks. And pencil's going to let you sketch out ideas and still be able to erase or edit or change things before committing it to paper with your ink. If you want to add a little bit of fun to your Inktober, you can make a theme to all of your drawings if you didn't want to just have a bunch of random drawings. Now both ways can be fun. Having a theme makes it a little bit easier to kind of decide what you're going to draw. The first time I did Inktober, I did each prompt based on my characters Agatha and Zed. As a matter of fact, I created them specifically so I would have characters to draw for Inktober. And I've got a playlist of all of those drawings here, which I'll link for you. And, don't be afraid to bend the rules a little bit. Start a few days early if you want, or if you miss a day, catch up the next day. Just don't get too far behind because these days can add up really fast and it can be very overwhelming. Most of all, though, have fun with it. Don't stress too much if it doesn't turn out the way you want. The whole point of this is to get experience and to keep doing it. And with experience and with repetition, you will get better. Share your work online or in person with other people. Be sure to get on your favorite social media and browse through other people's Inktober creations. Search through those hashtags and interact with the ones that you like, because it's a really great way to make new creative friends. I'll be posting on Instagram and Twitter this year for Inktober, and I'm also going to do something fun. I'm going to do one large image for the whole month. My main centerpiece of the image will be my character Penelope from my comic Baku Dreamwalkers. For each prompt, I'm going to add a new element to the drawing around her. But let's have a great Inktober. Let's have a lot of fun with it. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter if you want to follow the things that I'm posting. Be sure to follow the hashtags themselves. That way you can see what other people are doing as well. And until next time, keep creating and take care.